What would you say is the attribute that makes you most difficult for defenses to deal with?
I think I know this is a little different, but I think my silence on the field. I don't say a word on the field, and I think that me just not talking and just being so locked in, and I have guys trying to get in my head every single play, and all I do is just look at them and smile and keep walking. But I think that does something to opponents. I'm not the guy to rally up, or to talk smack to guys. I'm just the guy that just wants to go on the field, have fun, smile.
Smiley, right?
Smile.
Is your nickname still Smiley?
Yes, the nickname's still Smiley.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson, how much do you think he'll be smiling on draft day, Chris? Scouting combine, performance, nature of the position. There are many who believe you should never even use a first-round pick at any level. Top 10, middle 10, bottom 10 on a running back. What stood out to you for Robinson post-combine?
Well, I've had my eye on this guy, for a while. Being from, my alma mater, University of Texas, I mean, he's special. He's really probably been the best running back in college football the last 2 years. I think it's safe to say. I honestly thought he was going to run a little bit better of a 40 time than he did. He ran I think it was 4.46 or 4.47 if I remember off the top of my head. But he plays faster than that. That's why I was surprised. I thought he might be a guy that runs 4.4 flat, maybe 4.41, something like that. Either way, it's extremely impressive, Mike. And you see his build, right? I mean, he's built like a stud. I mean, legs, arms, neck, got everything you want there. And then he's got everything you want on the field, Mike. That's the other thing here. It's just like, it's a special runner. It's not only a guy that can go, 50 yards down the sideline. He can break ankles. He can run people over, inside, outside, run game. It doesn't matter. And then this is the other aspect. He's got phenomenal hands. He's a really good route runner and catcher of the football to where, you'll never have to go out of the game and you'll be able to do a lot of things around him. So, Mike, I wouldn't take him in the top 10. I probably wouldn't take him in the top 15 or first half of the round. But you start to get into the 20s, teams that, okay, hey, we got a pretty good team and we're just missing one guy that could really change us. Maybe the Buffalo Bills, somebody like that, right? That I would start thinking about, this type of football player. I would.
Yeah, and look, it's a constant struggle and dilemma for teams that need running backs. The higher you take a guy, the more compelled you are to use him, and then you overuse him. He possibly gets injured. Look at Saquon Barkley, second overall pick in 2018, had a great rookie season, and then injuries happen. And it's not because of the player, it's because of the position. It is more hazardous than any other position on the field, and you have so much focus, and you have so much expectation, and it's so easy to measure whether or not the guy's lived up to the draft status because of his yards and touchdowns. You get an offensive or defensive lineman in the top 10, it's not as glaring. It's just, is he playing? Right? There aren't the same numbers that get attached to it, so it's a lot of pressure on everyone the higher the player is picked, including the player. And, hey, if I'm a running back, I don't want to be a first-round pick. I want the 4-year contract, not the 5th-year option. I want to get franchise tagged after 4 years or sign a long-term contract if I become a star player that the team wants to keep around. So there's a lot of conflicting feelings that apply for teams and apply for the running back when you're talking about this. It's such a unique position, and these guys get screwed because they put their best years on film when they're being paid the lowest that any player gets under the rookie wage scale.
Yeah, no, it's a problem that I think, we've talked about with Emmitt Smith. You and I talk about this all the time. I wish they would compensate these, running backs a little more fairly early on in their career. You're right. They're on rookie contracts, and by the time it's time to get a new one, everybody goes, well, you got a lot of wear and tear on your tires. You've been beat up. You're not the same guy anymore. And, yeah, it goes fast for an NFL running back, certainly. But this is one of those that comes around where you go, it makes sense. And I wouldn't be shocked. There's no weakness. Like, again, I wouldn't take him in the top 10. But you think about, like, the Eagles at 30, Mike. Or what if the Eagles traded pick number 10 for a few other picks, and they're down, and They don't need a lot on their roster, right? But oh my gosh, you add Bijan Robinson with Jalen Hurts and those two receivers, and Dallas got her at tight end. Like, good luck. You'll never stop the Eagles' offense. It's going to be one of those teams that looks at it and goes, wait, we kind of got everything we need, or there's no glaring thing, and the potential of this player is too great for us to pass up here. We're going to take it. But, yeah, I think this is a guy that ends up going in the first round. It's the rare running back that it happens.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.